Rocking around the Christmas tree, let the Christmas spirit reign. Later we'll have some pumpkin pie and we'll do some caroling.
You will get a scent. Are you ready?
Oh, I don't know.
So welcome back to the Better English channel, the channel where you can actually improve your English using authentic materials and hopefully some nice, interesting words, which I always try to give. So let's begin our next video. Alla, you look fantastic today.
Thank you very much.
So-
Hi for everyone.
So what's your plan today?
Today speaking with you.
That's all?
No. And I need a dish in my work. I'm a photographer, and now I have very much work.
Mm.
And it's okay. It's my job, and I'm very happy to do it.
All
Yeah.
right. So I think one thing we have in common definitely is we both love photography and shooting videos, pictures, and so on. For me, it's more just like a hobby. I used to do it for some work, but now it's just for Instagram. But how did you begin as a photographer, and why did you start?
Oh, it was a long time ago, 2013.
Mm.
Yeah, when I gave birth my child, and I thought I need to do something for myself, interesting, and what I want. And first of all, I want job for my soul, and I want have free time.
Mm.
And photography, I thought it's a very good idea for me.
Mm-hmm.
And my friend, she was singer. She said me, Alla, I need photographer on wedding. And I said, why not? Yeah, I will try.
Well,
That's my
your
start.
story.
Yeah.
I see. Interesting. And what kind of work do you mostly do? So what style of photography?
Oh, I like family photo. I like kids photo and pregnant women,
Mm-hmm.
because it's something what I like very much. At inside in my soul, inside in my head, and I see what for me it's the best on this moment.
Mm-hmm.
Family, kids, and pregnant women.
It gives
Yeah.
you inspiration.
Inspiration,
Yeah.
people.
Mm-hmm.
It's exactly people, my friends, and what I see smile, I see nice faces, I see funny people, funny kids on set, and I'm very happy for that.
Do you have some examples in this little photo album that you have?
Yes, photo album. Yeah, I do like that.
Mm.
It's my family, and for my clients, I do something same like this album,
Same.
because this is emotion, and this is emotion forever.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It-
It's a book
Remember,
of memories.
this is your remember. Yeah, it's very important.
Yeah, book of memories. And the camera, what camera are you using? Is this your usual camera?
Yeah, I use Canon.
Mm.
My camera Canon, беззеркалка, Canon Air.
Uh-huh.
It was Air.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good for the camera. It's new, something new, and I have some objectives.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Lenses.
80 lenses. Yeah,
Yeah.
so 85. I love 35 lenses and 50.
Mm. Yeah,
It's-
when I had a camera, I used to love shooting with a 50 because you have, in photography, they call it a compression, where even though you get the same frame, the same shot, it looks better than, say, 10 millimeters or 80 millimeters. More cinematic, maybe.
50 is
Yeah.
very good for
Portraits.
portraits.
Yeah.
Yeah. 50 is the best. 85 good for portraits, not in studio. For example, in when you go to nature, and 135 is the best for nature.
Yeah.
Yeah, but in studio better 50, but I like 35 too.
It's it's quite a versatile number. You can do a lot with 35 millimeters, I
Yeah.
guess. I remember, like, because I mostly enjoyed videography, and the problem with shooting videos with a camera is that you need like one lens which does everything, but it's hard to find. So you can find like 50 millimeter
Yes.
lenses, or 35, or 24 to 50. But I used to make travel films mostly, and when you are traveling, you want to have very little equipment carrying with you. So I tried to find one lens which would be like 18 to 78, but they're very expensive. They're
Very
like
expensive.
£1,000, something
Yeah, I
like this.
understand.
So it is an investment. Like you have to spend money on this other thing.
Yes,
a lot.
of course. Yeah. And when I go to studio in our city, not in my studio, big studio for family, and I need every time remember about my stuff because it's very expensive, and I don't need to stay in car this because I will cry too many times because it's very expensive, but I want this and I know how I use this and what I get
Yeah,
from this camera and lens.
yeah. Like what you want and what to
Yes,
get.
of course, I know.
Yeah.
I know what I want.
Yeah.
And I grow up. First of all, I have not professional camera, very small, not professional lens. But after that, I grew up. I earn money, and I decide to buy a more expensive and professional camera.
Yeah.
Like this.
Yeah, and it makes a difference. Like when I first started, I used my phone to practice around the house, and then slowly I bought a Canon, I think, first, and then later I bought a Sony. I think it was
Sony is great
Yeah,
camera too.
it's more expensive, but I could do more with it. And even now, when I shoot these videos, I just use my phone. So you saw me before, like getting these small shots around the studio, around your
was very
beautiful
nice.
studio. Yeah, and so I think like having the equipment is good. But you have to know how to use it,
Yeah.
like to get the most of it. Which brings me on to another point, which is editing. So one of the reasons I stopped doing work as a photographer and videographer was I didn't enjoy the process of editing with other people's videos. It just takes so long, and maybe lack of motivation. So I enjoyed my things, but for other people, I lost the passion for it, basically. But how do you edit? What's your editing process?
My editing process, it's very interesting, very interesting.
Sure it is.
First of all, I need to take a shoot of photo of family, and after that, I come back to my studio and start to editing my photo on computer. I have some program, Lightroom and Photoshop. All photographers know that. And this is very long time, and sometimes I'm very boring do this editing, but I understand how I quickly doing this. My people, my guests, my clients will be happy. Yeah. And of course, result is very best.
I've seen your work. It is definitely the best.
Thank you very much, John.
Just only the truth. So moving on to English, since we are having a conversation right now in English.
In English.
Yeah. So not yet in Russian. How did you learn English? Because like we are talking now quite successfully, and some photography vocabulary, which can be difficult. But how did you actually learn English from the very beginning?
Oh, it's long story too.
Let's
But I try to explain how I know English.
Yeah.
When I studied in university, I had some program work and travel, and I'm going to USA, and I'm working. But I live with Russian people. We speak only Russian, but if I live with people, American people, foreign people, I learn and I know English more perfectly than now. But it's okay for conversation with people what I know.
Well, that's
On this moment, yeah. And for me, difficult speaking on camera. But
well, same.
when I will speaking without camera with you, just what I know, and I will remember some words, it will be better for me.
Well, I think that's true for most people. Like I can speak Russian with people who I know, and I'm not afraid to make mistakes. But if I speak Russian to new people or strangers, suddenly heart starts to go
Yes.
and just get nervous and just mistakes.
Of course.
Yeah.
My English is not perfect. It's just
Functional. Like it's enough to.
It's enough, yeah.
conversation.
It's enough
Yeah.
for understanding, yeah.
Yeah.
And if I know I will I do mistakes, but it's not important because many people take mistakes in English, in Russian, in other foreign languages, but they understand each other. It's cool.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Definitely. Actually, the first time we met was not photography related, but it was at the wine sort of convention, the Cutler's Club.
Yes,
And-
I remember.
Yeah, and it's just about that because I made a video. The last video I made was about wine. So, and I know you like wine. So, what is your favorite?
My favorite. I like dry wine, red wine, Zinfandel,
Zinfandel.
California.
That's
It's
a
the
good
best
choice.
for me.
That's a lovely choice. Do you?
What about you?
For me, it's hard to say. In the summer, I love a crisp Chardonnay, like a white Chardonnay.
Okay.
But in the winter, or at least in the autumn winter, my favorite's probably a Malbec. Yeah.
Yes,
So-
it's mine too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And actually,
yeah.
in England, they used to call this the black wine because it was so dark when France sold it. But then the grapes which made this wine were sort of mostly gone in France, and now it's mostly in Argentina. So it's one fact of the day. We usually speak just on Instagram, speaking sometimes Russian, sometimes English. But what's it like for you to have a conversation now in real life in English?
Yeah, I like this more because this fantastic practice for me. Yeah, and I with pleasure to invite in my studio people like you.
Thank you
Yeah.
very much.
And I wish it's not first last our conversation. I would like to meet again and speaking easily about everything what we love, what we need, ask about each other. Sorry.
about each other's interests.
Yes,
Yes.
of course. John, thank you very much.
Oh, you're welcome.
I love your conversation so much. It's very important for me. Это выход за рамки моей обычной жизни.
It's something out of the ordinary for your typical life.
Of course.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
So I hope this video was useful, at least not for those who like photography or just like English and such a video anyway. Very professional. Go on. So we can some later.
Of course.
So you should subscribe to the channel as usual, download the full transcript and PDF available in the description, and check out some other videos which will be featured at the end of this video. So Alla, thank you very much.
Thank you very much, John. Thanks for coming.
My pleasure, and I hope everyone else has a lovely day too.
Oh, мы сделали это!
Did it?
Yes! Потом вырежешь.
Yeah. Don't worry, I'll
Oh, please, it's so,
I'll take these
so
out, don't worry.
many. Okay.
Um,
Я уже собралась заканчивать, а Джон продолжает.
You happy?
Yeah.
Why? Why are you happy?
Because we finished.
Successful, I think.
Super photographer from Russia.